Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and today we're going to talk about one of the examples in the notes for vectors. So this is the question we are talking about today. So you can see that we have a diagram here. In this I wrote a lot of numbers here, so the ability to write all this this 1 and 2, 1, 1 is the most important thing that you need to learn before you start the question. And these numbers are all written based on these 1, 2 sentences over here. So let's go through this properly. So you can see that they say PR is equal to 3PY. So where exactly are all these things? So PR is here, the whole line is equal to 3 times of PY, this one. So if this one times 3, I'm going to get the whole thing. So by law of common sense, if you times 3, this becomes 1, 2, 3, right? So if this is 1 unit, the whole line is going to be 3 units, and hence this part must be 2 units. Now this 1 and 2 is not the actual length, this is just the proportion of it. Okay, we don't know what's the actual length, but this is 1 unit, this is 2 units, that's for sure. Okay, the actual length doesn't matter in this case. So if you continue, you can see that x is the midpoint of PZ. So PZ is over here, and then x is the midpoint. So in other words, these two are the same distance. So proportionally they are the same. So that's why I put 1, 1 over here. Again, it doesn't mean that these two are the same length, but I'm just saying these two is the same proportion. Okay, so next, continue. Z is the midpoint of QR. So QR is here, so Z is right in the middle. So if this portion is A, which is written here, QZ is A, right? So QZ is A. It makes sense that this is also A, because it's the exact same direction and the exact same distance, right? So midpoint, so these two are the same. So this A, this A. Okay, then we have a PY is B, so PY is here, B. So when this is B, it also tells you that this is 2B, because this part is supposed to be 2. So if this is B, this is 2B. So that's where all these numbers come from. They didn't come from thin air, they come from just all these sentences and things in the question. So with this, let's start doing the question. So they say express in terms of A and B, which is this A and this B, right? PZ. So PZ is over here. Okay, so you can see that this is clearly going to be a triangle rule kind of thing, right? Because there's so many triangles. So I want PZ this direction pointing down. So I'm looking for a triangle where I have most of the sides. So you can see that I don't know this side, so I can't be using this triangle. So these are the questions. So I also don't have this. So this whole triangle probably not very useful, but this triangle over here, you notice I have every single thing. So I just need to involve PZ. So by using the triangle rule, you can see that PZ plus A, this one, A is equal to PR. Okay, I say again, in terms of the triangle rule, PZ plus this ZR is equal to PR. That's what I'm writing down here. PZ ZR equal to PR. Now I'm going to slot in all the things that I know. So PZ I clearly don't know, I need to find this, right? So this out. So ZR is what? ZR is here, which we already said that this is A, right? But same direction, so this is A. Then this PR is this whole thing, which we can tell is 3B, because this is B, this is 2B, you go the whole full length, it is 3B. That's why I'm just making PZ the subject. This one I'm going to shift to the right. That's why it's 3B minus A, and that's the answer. Done. Okay, so next one is XZ. So XZ is here. You can see that we just found PZ, and come on, this is the midpoint. So this XZ must be half. That's why it's half of 3B minus A. So this is there's a typo here. So ignore this. So it's half times 3B minus A, which is this answer lah. Half of this. Okay, after that I got the QX. So QX would be here, QX this direction. So same thing, I'm looking for triangles where I know the sides. So again, based on the triangle rule, what I can do is I can do QX is equal to QZ plus ZX. So you can see that I've written down here, so QZ plus ZX. So QZ is A, ZX is this, but I need to negative the value because XZ is pointing downwards. So if I want ZX, I need to negative this. So that's why you can see that it's over here, A plus the negative, instead of writing plus negative, I just wrote minus lah. So this one, and then of course I simplify and that's the answer over here. Okay, so this is these three parts are all hinging on triangle rule. Okay, so that's how you do vectors. Now this is the interesting one. I put a star here because this is what I call the same height trick, or the common height trick. So this is quite an interesting thing because this is commonly asked. This is a commonly difficult question that's asked. Okay, so what they do is they want you to find the triangle of the ratio, so-called, of two triangles. This triangle divided by this triangle. So PQY, so it's let's see, PQY is so is this triangle area divided by the area of this PQR. So PQR will be this one, the whole big one. So it's this area divided by the whole thing. Now you can realize that this is vectors. There's not a single number here. So how am I going to find the area of the triangle with no numbers? Actually, we can. So the most important thing you must realize is we call it a common height thing for a reason. So if you turn this triangle, I think it's easier to see like that. Okay, I've turned the triangle. You can realize that this triangle and this big triangle actually they have the same base, you know. I mean, of course, it's different length, but the base is on the same length. And the highest point is also the same. So Q is the highest point for this triangle and this big triangle. That is why if you drop the perpendicular down, the height is the dotted line, right? Both triangles actually have the exact same height. That's why this is called the same height trick, or the common height trick. Okay, so let's come back to this. Since I want area, so area of triangle is half base times height, right? So let's do the small one first. So this is the base, this is the height. So what I do is I write down half base times height, and the base I put as 1 because this proportionally is 1, right? And then the height is this height, the dotted line, which I don't know. I just put h first. And then for the bigger triangle, this is the base. So again, it's also half base times height, right? So again, I have the half, I have the base. Now the base I put 3 because the base is 3 units, right? Also called 3 proportions, 3 parts compared to this. That's why this is 3. And the height is the same. Now I realize that in this situation, the half cancels, the h also cancels, and this can only be done if the height is the same height. That's why this is called the same height trick, because when the height is the same, I can literally just cancel away. I'm just left with 1/3. So this is 1/3. That's why the answer is 1/3. So this is quite an interesting question, right? If you have never seen this before, there's no way you will know how to do this. Yeah, so hope you have learned something new. Thank you and bye-bye.